Hi, my name is Joe. I'm with Free the Fern, an environmental stewardship group in Vancouver, BC. Today I'm going to show you how to make a basket from invasive English ivy. I want to show the tools that we need for this. Scissors, a clothespin, chopstick, pliers, hobby knife. The basket has stakes that give the framework for the basket and weavers that go around and around. The stakes are firmer pieces of ivy. And then for the weavers, it's softer ivy, especially the green ivy. It's a lot easier to weave with. And the type of weaving is called twining. So to start the weaving, you take the three stakes and you cross them over and hold them together. And then you take a weaver. It can be any length, long is good. So once you have looped it over, the three, you do a twist. I do it from back to front. Other people do it front to back. The key is to always twist the same way. So I've looped it over again. So I do another twist. And you just go around. You do another twist. And now I've done one loop around the ivy. With the weaver, you want to make sure that the two pieces are not the same length, that they should be different lengths, because at some point they'll end and you have to feed in more ivy, and it's easier if you're not doing both at the same time. The three stakes, they're held in place. Now it gets interesting because you just go around the single stakes. And so now instead of going again around all three, I go over just the one, then I twist. I bring the back around the front and go around another stake. And then again, the back, over the front, and another stake. And you can see what's happening. The stakes are spreading apart because I'm going around each one individually. And now you keep going. The back over the front, and it's just the single stakes. And your weavers, everything gets twisted at some point. But the one thing I find, the ivy is quite strong. Sometimes it gets kinks, or you think it's going to break, but it just keeps going. And so you just twist the back over the front and around the next stake. Then the next one, back over the front and around. The next one, back over the front and around. And you can see the stakes are really spreading apart. So the last three, so just twist, back over the front and twist. And so as you twist, you can see the twist. It's called twining, twine is twisted rope. But you can see that one piece goes over, then it goes under. It goes over, it goes under. I've gotten to this point and the stakes are starting to curve a bit, and they call this the ivy spider. I have one weaver that's very short, and I'm going to need to feed in another one. At this point, what I do, here's where the clothespin comes in. So it will hold the weave in place while you go off to find another weaver. And once you come back, you take the clothespin off. So now we have to feed the next weaver in. Usually this is if you can sort of overlap the two for a couple of stakes. And the method I use is always for the new weaver, I make sure it goes into the inside. So here are the two. So here's the one that's ending, and here's the new one. So that goes around. So it's coming over the other weaver. And now, when I twist, this is where it can get confusing between the new weaver and the old one, but you just make sure that they go the same way. So I've replaced it. And you will find that it sort of sticks up. There's cleanup at the end that will fix a lot of these things. So now I've got a new weaver, and so I just keep going. I'll go around to where I fed the two together, and then we'll start bending the stakes to make a basket. I'll try to push to keep it together. And now, another back and over. And over. Once in a while you discover you've skipped a stake, and it depends. It depends how far back it is. It's often, by the end, it's not noticeable, but you can go back, just undo your weaving and redo it. We're going to have a basket. So we've got the bottom of the basket, but now we need to push the sides up. And now, while I do this, when I have so it's the twist, the back and over, but I also push the stakes down. Back and over, so there's the stake, and push it down. It will take a couple times around, at least, for the stakes to stay down. We're coming to the end again, so we'll have to feed another weaver in. To the point where I put in the new weaver, it's usually like at least 2 stakes, so you can feed it in so it will stay in. So in this case, so for this stake, so it goes over. So I'm feeding it in beside the one that's ending. So the two are together. Sometimes these are both kind of stiff. Sometimes if it's a soft green one, I actually twist the new one around the old one to keep them together. At this point, I'm going to show how to finish. You go around one stake that's sticking up, and then you bend the stake past the next stake in the direction you're weaving. Don't know if you can see that. So I've taken this stake and I've bent it past the next one. And now, okay, and so now I just weave over top of it to the next one. And now I take this and I do the twist over top of it. There's a lot of things twisting now. So I weave over top of it. And then you take this stake and again, and you weave over top of it to hold it down. And so you can see the pattern that you're getting with the finished stakes. So this is the end. I mean, there's hardly anything left, so I'm just going to cut this off. It makes it easier finishing to. And now, chopstick. Chopstick helps to make a hole so that I can pull the weaver through. And to hold it down. At this point, this one sort of pulled out, so I know I need to push it back through again. And there. Well, this is what it looks like at this point. To finish it off, I cut these stakes. Now at this point, what I found is I don't cut them really tight because they shrink a bit as they dry. So just leave a bit on the outside. After I weave, I always have to do a good sweep because stuff just falls. And so there, you've got a basket. One thing at this point, I find, especially the way you start it, it doesn't always sit flat. And So sometimes what I'll do is sort of press it down, or like let it dry overnight, but I'll put like a can on it, a can of liquid or something. It helps, just something to help hold it down, because it can get a bit tippy. Okay, so thanks for watching. I hope you found it interesting and it helped you. If you'd like more information, please check out Free the Fern, www.freethefern.ca.